Cheers!
Cheers.
Hello.
Hello, YouTube. I'm Karen Hinshaw with Key Associates, and I'm always doing these videos. And we are having an ice storm here in southern Indiana. As you know, we cover living on the Ohio River. And what do you do in an ice storm? Why not make a video? I would show you some glimpses, but maybe I'll show you a picture so you can see what we're dealing with. But I am here with some of my favorite clients, and we are going to cover a topic that I've covered before. It's living in California versus living in Indiana, and specifically southern Indiana, because that's what I cover. And this is Mr. Larry and Loretta Ball. Some great clients. How long have you been in Indiana?
Almost 5 years.
5 years. And where did you come from?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles to southern Indiana. They do move, guys.
Yeah, actually, I mean, actually the city was Rancho Palos Verdes, but it's a suburb of Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yep.
So, as you always know, I'm always doing tours of the area. I have done a clip on this before, but I wanted to get the real life feedback from someone that's lived in both areas. And you guys grew up there.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Born and raised.
Yes.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. So this is a very good comparison. If you're looking to move from California, Los Angeles area specifically, to southern Indiana.
I was
So,
born in Santa Monica, so yeah.
Santa Monica.
Yep.
And we grew up in a little place called Ladera Heights, which is by Culver City and not too far from Santa Monica.
Yeah. Wow.
So-
Sounds beautiful.
It's Los Angeles.
And now we went to high school in Inglewood, which is now on the map because of the Rams,
Oh,
brand new
yes.
stadium, and the Super Bowl is in Inglewood
Cheers
this
to
year.
that. Yeah, fun.
So it's
some
old home
history
week
there
for
you.
us.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So again, if you're not subscribed, we do these every week. So tap that subscribe button, right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're fun videos. So we're going to start. Let's go in. I'm going to say a plus, and I don't know this, but wine? A
Yeah.
plus for California.
Well,
Oh, definitely a California
this is
plus.
California wine.
we are
What am I drinking?
We are drinking 19 Crimes,
Yes.
Snoop Dogg Cali
Dogg.
Red Blend,
Yes.
which is
It's very
a
good.
tribute to California. But they have good wine here in Indiana as well. It
Oh.
tends to be a little sweeter,
Yes.
but if you're careful, I mean, our local liquor store here carries a lot of very nice Cabernets and Pinot Noirs
California
and
wine.
Yeah, I would say a
and-
lot of the locals is very
and a lot of
sweet.
California wine is here,
You-
and Washington wines.
You're right. So if you're looking at the differences, a lot of sweet wine.
The wine that you actually make here.
It's
yes,
like the
tends
berries,
to
a
be
lot of
sweeter.
berries and
And wine slushes in the summertime when
But
it's hot.
they always
Yes.
carry a full selection of all the wines you'd find in
yeah,
California
you're
anyway.
going to find
so,
California anywhere. But
You know.
that is one big difference.
Yep.
And weather, because
Weather.
we got 2 inches of ice, and this is not normal. Is it normal? I mean, how much snow have you guys had here since you've been here?
Not that much.
Well, a little on and off every year, like in the wintertime, obviously there's a little snow, and I think it's great. Hopefully, we look forward. Hopefully, there's a little bit around Christmas time.
Yeah.
There usually is a little bit, just to make it like more Christmassy.
It's always too late.
Yeah,
Like for
usually-
Christmas.
Mostly it doesn't snow except in January and February.
Yeah.
And it'll snow maybe like 2 inches, hang around for a day or two, and then melt. And then maybe a couple weeks later it'll do it again. But nothing any more severe than that we've seen.
I think coming from California, my impression was it's all Indianapolis, like Green Bay, Wisconsin, like Chicago. You know, some kind of a giant winter storm thing constantly. But this is so far south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like comparing Oregon with Los Angeles. It's just as different.
Yeah, very different.
Totally different.
And even the winters are pretty calm. I mean, it's not like really cold.
You know, coming
No.
from California, I would say it's the thing I like most. It's just enough of a weather change to know you've got seasons.
Yeah, it's a taste of
And
winter.
I love the weather in California, and Los Angeles is fantastic. But the one thing it doesn't have are seasons.
Yes.
And here, at least, you know, when it's fall and, you know, Thanksgiving, it feels like that, and Christmas, it feels like that, and the springtime, it feels like that. So you do get the sense of seasons every year, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So a little snow is not a big inconvenience when you've never had it.
I would agree. And
kinda
I've never
fun.
lived in California. I see it. It's beautiful, but I do love the 4 seasons, and I think
It
that's
is
a
really
plus
pretty.
here.
And spring here is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah, they
fantastic.
live on a lake. You can't see the backdrop, but maybe I'll do a little clip so you can see it while we're doing the video. But
Sure.
absolutely gorgeous, especially with all the snow. It's actually really gorgeous.
It's very pretty.
Okay, so what would be another comparison we should talk about?
The
I'm going to
people.
let you guys talk. Oh, the people.
Let me start with
that?
schools.
The schools.
Just
are
the high school,
yeah.
the elementary school, the middle school. It's like something I cannot imagine. They're clean. The kids seem to be very respectful and polite.
Aw.
There's no graffiti.
No
anywhere.
graffiti. You have a graffiti problem?
None.
There's no
You know, that's
graffiti.
things I don't even think about graffiti.
There's no
It's
graffiti.
like that's not even a
Absolutely.
thing I bring up.
Yeah. No.
You know,
There was
it's-
one
yeah.
graffiti on an overpass, and I think it was there for 2 days, and then they painted over it.
That's true.
That's all. And the only other graffiti I've seen is on train cars.
Yeah. And we don't have a lot of train cars coming through, at least when we live. Not to
That's
say
it.
they don't come through, but
That's it.
that's funny. So
Well, I think-
people, what about like just the
Well,
older crowd, not
Yeah,
even
I think
schools?
that lends itself more to the whole overview that people here seem to be very respectful of one another,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it's
And friendly and
friendly, nice.
People
It's-
wave at you in
nice
the cars,
sense,
don't they?
nice sense of community.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say it's a very trusting, unlike California. When we first moved in, we needed a little work done on the house because it had a lot of deferred maintenance, meaning it needed
I
a few
remember
things.
that.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Hey, it's okay, you know, if you're going to
They
buy a
got a
house.
good deal, but it's the most, it is the most, it's very eclectic. It's a cool house.
It's a
a
great
cool
house.
house,
You
yeah.
can't- by the way, that
love
means
this
another
house.
topic. You can get cool houses in southern Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Every house in this whole development is custom made, literally. So,
So all different.
yeah. Anyway,
So the people.
the
Back to
people,
the
right.
people.
So, yeah, you know, like, hi, I just moved here a week ago from Los Angeles. I want to get this done and that done. People would show up. No, don't worry, we'll send you a bill. You know, it's like,
4 months later.
yeah, I even called one place. I think you forgot about us. Send us a bill. Oh, okay. But it's just a very trusting and nice community where the values I had as a child growing up in LA, like a long time ago, you shook somebody's hand, you made a deal, that was that. People's word was their bond, and I thought that was something that it is something that's completely evaporated in South Bay, LA, and most of California.
You're stepping back into time a little bit.
It was
is.
wonderful.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, my
It
goodness.
is like a little bit of a, I mean, yes, you could say we're not as fast paced as some of the cities and areas like California,
Yeah.
but we kind of shelter people a little bit.
Yeah, and
You
I
keep
want-
them young a little longer.
I want to
Yeah,
be careful
it's
when I
very
say
nice.
that because it's like you're moving back in time where everything's yuck and yuck.
Yeah,
You know.
we have internet, guys. We have internet.
Yeah. Very good
We have
high-speed internet.
fiber. We're
Yeah.
not like that.
Absolutely.
I would say the values that
Yes.
people, if values of people matter to you, if the values of people hold matter to you, and you want to live in a like-minded area of people that care about each other and are, you know, your word is your bond, and you just will go out of your way to help people like they'll go out of their way to help you. This is a great place to be.
Yeah, we have
I'm amazed
grandchildren.
it's so great. I didn't know it'd be this nice. I probably would have moved here 20 years ago if I would have known.
We feel like our grandchildren are getting the same kind of elementary school experience that our kids got.
Yeah.
You know, our children are like 40.
And you moved
And-
here because you're kids, right?
We-
It's not like they
yeah.
just picked Southern Indiana to
No,
relocate.
no, we had no
Right.
idea what we're getting
No,
into.
we-
But it was
fantastic.
a pleasant surprise.
Amazing.
For
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
what you got, not realizing
absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, this is going to be a big change,
Right,
but,
but it
for
really,
the good.
it really hasn't been that drastic of a change. It's been very pleasant.
So let's talk about cost of living.
Okay.
What do you guys think about that? Taxes, cost of just living where you were.
Well, cost of living in terms of like, what kind of a home you can buy here compared to Southern California.
Well, even groceries
is
are just
amazing.
like everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
So-
house values kill. I mean,
Right.
there's no, yeah. You're like this, right?
And we've had people, I mean, our whole family has basically now relocated out here. He has a sister who was living in Hawaii and they're renting a house
Yeah.
a mile from us here at a fraction, obviously, of the cost that they were paying in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And
Well, and that'd be very similar. Hawaii would, I mean, cost for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But even like your basics, gas and all that's
Oh,
probably less, isn't it?
gas is-
Groceries.
Well, today, I mean, right now, gas in Los Angeles area is about
it's about
$5.70,
$5 or $6.
$5.50
Oh, wow.
to $6 a gallon. Here, it's
Well, it's
$3,
three. It's three.
$3.50.
How often do you go back to California?
We have other family and a few things there we go back to.
Usually once a year.
Once or twice a year.
So you're there quite a bit.
Well, yeah, we were there last February. It was a year ago. We're going back in 3 weeks to see friends.
Yeah, friends and family.
More distant family. Yep.
But the cost of living here, the only thing that's really the same is postage.
Yeah, we got postage. And
The
you know what?
cost of a stamp is the same, but everything else is, it just
funny.
is nice and comfortable because,
Especially if you're retired.
Yeah, if
Because
you're
you're on a
retired,
fixed
oh my
income.
gosh, yeah.
Right.
No one's trying to gouge you.
Yeah.
Nobody's, it just seems like more recently in LA and Southern California and San Diego and LA and even we have connections all around, but
Yeah.
and just as a quick backup, we moved here as a temporary, like we'll spend like 3 or 4 months a year here.
And then go back to California.
Yeah, but once we were here, we liked it so much, we said, no, we're staying here. We leased our house out in California. Now we're here permanently. So,
Have you sold that house in California yet?
oh no,
I was going to say, you can make a lot of money on that.
no,
true.
we have,
Yeah.
no, that's all fine.
That's good. You have to have your placeholder
Yeah.
there still.
Yeah, and we've owned that house
And you-
for a long
Yeah.
time. so-
Did you raise your kids there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fun.
and we've owned that house for over 20 years.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
So what are some other differences you can think of that people might think if they're wanting to like move?
Well, I will tell
From
you
that
one thing.
perspective.
This will be my last little thing. I'll let my wife speak because I'm kind of overly dominating this conversation. I'm sorry.
Never.
But I'm passionate about this. My biggest drawback, the thing I didn't want to move here for, I was concerned about the medical care.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because I'm 66.
Yeah.
I don't really have any, medical issues. I probably knock on wood. But as you get looking towards, 70, 80 years old down the road, we lived in South Bay, Torrance, Palos Verdes area, great medical care. This, wonderful. However, the doctors here are better, and the medical care here is better than in Los Angeles, and I am really amazed.
Wow. And
And-
I had no way of knowing that. I
Right.
mean, this is purely from you.
I would say that I have a lot of friends that are in the medical profession and a lot of colleagues in the medical profession, and I will tell you without a doubt,
Well, it's certainly every bit as good as, and
Okay.
in some ways better.
it's every bit as good as, and in some ways better. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that was one of my concerns was, gee, what about medical care?
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's a good point because that's not something I really. I
No,
know what we are, but I have no comparison.
yeah, I'm not paranoid worrying about
Yeah.
my worry beads about having
Well,
some
I
issue.
think sometimes
but-
people retire,
Yes.
and we have had friends who've left California to live in a more rural area, and some of them have come back because even though this area is obviously a lot less populated and more rural than Los Angeles, there's several amazing medical centers that are within a half an hour drive from
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And the hospital, like in Jasper and the hospital in Owensboro, they're basically about 20 miles.
Yeah.
But you can drive that 20 miles in 25 minutes because there's no traffic. I mean, I used to drive 12 miles to work when I lived in LA, and it took me a half an hour to drive 12 miles.
So it's not really that different.
So, so it's really close, and all of the hospital. We've had some experiences with my mother-in-law in the hospital and friends in the hospital, and everything is first rate.
Oh, good.
And for those
really
of you in the
pleased.
Torrance area, I will tell you this. This is hilarious.
area?
Yeah, the Torrance,
Torrance.
South Bay area, Los Angeles.
Whatever. If you're from
Okay.
there.
Well, if you're from there, hey, cool. If you ever come out here, please look us up. We'd love to entertain you. I mean it sincerely.
And they really are the best social guys.
But
There are social
right.
guys
So
in town.
if we would have been sick, we would have gone to Little Company Mary
Or Torrance Memorial.
or Torrance Memorial, but Little Company Mary. And guess what? The hospital here is Little Company Mary. It's the same.
Oh, that's fun.
It is.
It's the same.
It's
It's like-
Memorial Healthcare.
Right, they have
The same as
Torrance,
Long Beach
San
Memorial
Pedro,
and
and
Little Company
Jasper,
Mary.
Indiana. Like,
Right.
what?
It's
So,
Memorial Medicine.
we just thought that was kind of a funny
excellent.
throw in there. Like, you wouldn't believe it, but hey,
Very neat.
So I think the people here are really high caliber, really nice people.
Cost of living is a plus.
Cost of living
Definitely.
is amazing.
If you want to talk about state taxes,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Tell me about, I would like to understand your
yeah,
state tax
okay.
difference here.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's go. Let's talk about the home.
Huge.
Where you were.
Yeah.
Is it similar sizes? I mean, let's talk about size.
This house is bigger than our house
Okay,
in
so they have a
California.
bigger house in southern Indiana.
Or,
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's bigger here
Okay.
than there.
Okay.
Uh,
And what did you pay taxes there?
property tax?
$10,000 a year.
It's about 11,000 a year.
11,000. What do you pay here?
1,900.
I was going to say 2,000.
20% of that.
Yeah. And this
Well,
house,
but
and this
it-
house has 3,500 square feet, and our house in California had 2,500 square
yeah.
feet.
So 1,000 more square feet and 8,000 less in taxes. Pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's essentially the same tax rate as California. But in California, you know, $1 million house is not really that big of a deal. But here, a $300,000, $400,000 house is a lot more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And you save that much every year in taxes. But also the income taxes are phenomenal. And
What's the difference there? I don't even know.
it's significant, right?
I mean, I kind of know by looking it up, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't know where
well, the more you make, the more you pay in California because it's like a sliding
Yeah.
scale. Right. So I just encourage anyone interested in even looking here, you're going to do your homework, due diligence, look at the taxing here. Basically, they take a few percent, couple percent off of whatever your federal is. So kind of like California, you do that 540 form. It says, what are your, you know, basically give us your federal tax form and you'll calculate the California based upon that up to 13% of gross. Here it's like 3% flat. So, but I'm not, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a tax accountant. Okay.
Do not take legal or
Don't take
advice from us.
right. Yeah, but check it out.
What he felt and learned.
Yeah, there's all kinds of websites you can look up to do the tax comparison for this state versus that state. Here, between the property taxes, the income taxes, and just the cost of living, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
You start, you know, 300 here, 500 there, $1,000 here. Pretty soon it adds up. It's a big difference. You know.
So can you get as much, like, what is the remote life in California now? Is it easy to get land and all that in California? I don't really know. Like, is it all pretty crowded?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
where we are, there's not much land to be,
Yeah, okay.
to be
So
bought
it's crowded.
anymore.
But I mean, I don't know
Pretty
as a
much
whole
all
as a
been
California,
built
but
on.
it's getting more crowded everywhere, right? I mean,
Yeah.
in general.
Oh, yeah.
I hear that a lot. It's just getting crowded. It used to be more remote areas and there's just people everywhere. More crime is
Yeah.
what I'm hearing.
Yeah. That's what we're hearing recently, especially.
Yeah, I mean, you may have not
Yeah.
even, I mean, 5 years ago, did you experience a whole lot of crime in the area or no?
No.
Well-
You're just hearing more of it now?
Yeah, we're hearing more about it now.
In California, that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not here, there's none here. So one thing that I think is interesting and people that are inquiring, not only from California, but just more populated areas, is during the pandemic, COVID hit, people want to get out of those cities.
Right.
Yeah.
And how wonderful was it here during the pandemic? It was pretty good, wasn't it?
It really wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I'm not saying we didn't have issues, but
No, I mean,
really.
we were all, you know, nervous and wearing masks and all that kind of thing in the beginning, but getting vaccinated was not a problem. I thought Indiana did a tremendous job of rolling out. You know, they had a website once the vaccine was available. You registered, you went, there were plenty of places nearby to get vaccinated. You didn't have to wait that long. And the same thing with the boosters, it went extremely smoothly. Everything went really, really well.
yeah. And because we're a little bit more rural than the cities, I didn't feel like everything was so strict. And I felt it when I went into, when I went to cities or anywhere outside of where we were. I mean, it was just completely a different environment, a different feel.
A lot of our experiences here dealing with like anything like utilities, the DMV, things that were very complicated in California because there's just more people and stuff too. But like you have to have an appointment to go to the DMV in California. If you don't have an appointment, there's a line literally like outside the DMV and around the DMV. Here you literally walk into the DMV, no appointment, and you take a number, and before you can even sit down, they call your number. And one time I said, well, should I put the number back in the machine? She's like, no, we need those numbers to keep track of how many people came in today. I'm like, okay.
So a little different, not
So
crowded.
the same thing with the vaccine. There was a website, but there was also an 800 number you could call. And I thought, well, I'll call the 800 number, but I'll probably be on hold forever. And it was literally like,
Well, mine was easy.
Indiana, vaccine program. How can I help you? Oh, you want to schedule a vaccine? No problem. Where do you
Yeah.
live? Give me your zip code. I'll give you the closest place.
It was pretty
Yeah.
good. I mean, even Indiana handled restaurants a lot, and obviously we are close to Kentucky, and when we go to Owensboro, which is not that far away,
No.
it was completely different. Like you could tell the different states and how they were
Right.
handling things. Only
Yeah,
being
it
30
was-
minutes away.
Yeah, they did a very,
They
very
did a
good job.
And we are remote more than so the cities. We do have more countryside. We have lakes. We have
It was
parks.
wonderful in terms of exercising
Yeah,
because
exercising, we have it all.
there's
Like, you
all
could
kinds
go
of
out.
trails and
Yeah.
parks where you could walk.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was wonderful because the gyms were closed just like everywhere else.
Yeah.
But there's so many places just either walking through the neighborhood or just going down the road to Lincoln State Park and walking all through the park. Or our local like community center opened up pretty quickly, quicker than the YMCA did. But yeah, or just biking, you know, any kind of outdoor activity was beautiful to do, and you know, you didn't have to worry about
that
things being overly crowded.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stuff to do, even though you don't.
And-
I know California's probably known more for the exercising and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, but you have it here too.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a lot of wonderful stuff and a lot of dedication to like bike paths and walking paths, things like that that are nice.
Yeah.
But the whole COVID experience, like my thought was, you know, you see on the news all the difficulties, like testing takes a while or you can't get appointments. Here it's, can I get it? And when you call a governmental entity here, somebody picks up the phone and you talk to a person, not an answering machine.
Exactly.
It took a lot of getting
I
used to.
have to say, Utilities
Right.
Vectrin is not, well, Center Point now, that's an hour.
Okay.
There are some, I'm just going to give some, you know, negatives. There
Okay.
is a negative.
Well, like
Center
I call-
Point needs to get their phone line a little fixed.
I call the tax assessor's office
But
for
they
a
did just
question.
get taken over from Vectrin, so,
Yeah.
you know, they're working out their kinks.
I call the
What's this
tax
dog
assessor's
doing?
office for a question.
Yeah, they're good.
What are you
Oh, hi,
doing?
taxes, how can I help
What are
you?
you
Like,
doing?
I'm like
Don't be-
waiting for them. Sorry, guys.
Sorry,
It's okay.
puppy eating something she shouldn't be
Mindfulness.
eating.
But you know, you expect to get a recording like press 1 for this and 2 for that. Instead, you're talking to a human before you know. It's like bye, wait, put my coffee down. Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
So utilities, are they a lot different here?
Well, you get instant service, but the utilities are less expensive, obviously.
Trash is less expensive.
Trash is way.
I would
less
say water and
expensive.
electricity are the same.
Yeah.
Well, I would say they're less, but that's okay. We
Maybe a
can.
little less.
They can argue
That's
with
okay.
that.
But not more, because we thought, oh, it's going to be really cold and our heating bill is going to be outrageous and stuff, and it isn't.
No.
It isn't at all.
Well,
No,
better
it's
than
true
you
like
than me,
that.
because I have an old house and my heating bills are not good. But I'm going to blame that on my parents because they built my house.
There you go. So we're trying to talk about all the differences, the
Okay,
pluses
so
and minuses.
what else
right?
have we got?
Well, I don't,
Oh, dining.
dining.
Dining
Okay.
we can talk about. I'm going to give a plus to California, I'm guessing here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
California
Yeah.
wins.
There's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah, I mean-
more variety of food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Variety is hurting here. And I'm even talking about, unless you get to Louisville. Louisville has good food.
Evansville.
In Evansville, but I even
Owensboro?
think Evansville and Orangeboro, if you compare to California, we're talking a difference a little bit. As a
Yeah.
Well,
abundance.
we've
you have
found,
a few, don't get me
right.
wrong, but
we found
abundance.
we found 2 really good places in Owensboro.
Yeah, well, see, you have to go find them. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. We're talking
Yeah.
like we can count on our hands. Mm-hmm. Whereas in California, you probably
But
can
in-
count on double, three. Yeah, you know. we can
Yeah.
count.
But in
I would say
Evansville-
we know of 10 places within 30 minutes, 35. Well,
That
some
you
30
like.
minutes, some 40 minutes. But the other thing here that I'll get to in a second is the traffic. There is none. But
Exactly.
that's probably the most
And if people
amazing
think
difference of
Evansville
all.
Traffic is a big
I-
deal. It is not.
I can't believe I went that. But anyway,
Not
just
at
to the food issue. What I found here in 5 years here is that there's a lot of lovely small, kind of mom and pop, but mostly. I'm old, so they're not mom and pop to me. They're kids. So young kids forming their own. Well, soon to become a mom and pop restaurants are fantastic. You know, cordon bleu trained chefs, people that worked cruise lines, are phenomenal chefs, amazing skills. But they moved here for the same reasons we liked it here, which is it's a great community, it's a good place to be, it's got a lot of great values, it's just, yeah, it's really cool.
So dining, I would say California wins. Not that you can't
Hands
find
down.
it here.
No,
Hands
definitely.
down, California kills our
Right.
food.
Right.
We have to have.
But I've done okay since I've been here, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
I can't say, you know, I've suffered.
We've managed to find a good Japanese restaurant, a couple of good Mexican restaurants.
Okay.
Maybe not as good as California because
Yeah, Mexican's probably hard in
but
California.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Great Italian restaurant.
So
we're-
what else
we're
can
surviving.
we talk about that someone in California would wonder?
The traffic,
Traffic.
ease of getting
Yeah,
around. I
there's
mean,
no traffic.
I don't know if that wasn't the first thing I would speak to because that's the most amazing, right? So
You never have to think, oh, it's 5:30. We better wait an hour before
Yeah.
we go because the traffic's going to
Yeah.
be terrible.
I will honestly
There
tell
just
you,
isn't
In
any.
Louisville,
and-
if you're
and-
near that area, maybe, but not Evansville at all, or
No.
here, no.
Not at all.
anywhere within 45 minutes of here, there is literally no traffic. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, like I'm being. I mean, there's not one car within 300 yards of your car.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
And I giggle because I used to live in North Carolina and I used to commute, and I went literally 12 miles, maybe 15 to commute in the morning. Took me 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's the same way mine
And
was.
I don't think people comprehend. They think it's longer, farther away from a mile standpoint,
Right.
but they don't
Right.
get that they're really spending the same amount of time,
Right.
even though we may be farther away in miles.
Exactly.
Like, depending on where people are going.
So I was living in Palos Verdes, worked in LA up on Wilshire
Like
in
hospitals and
Vermont.
stuff.
right.
Wilshire Boulevard, Vermont area, right? In LA, PV. You shoot up the Harbor Freeway, even with the Diamond Lane. You know, do all the tricks we can do. It's an hour commute at 7 in the morning to get to work, right? To go 15, 20 miles.
Well, it's further than that, but
Okay, it's further. I'm sorry. I think I'm just so excited there's no traffic here. I'm
No
embellishing it.
traffic. We got that point across.
Okay,
No traffic.
sorry guys, no
Yeah.
traffic. And that
Anything
sounds
else
ridiculous,
that we can
but-
think of? I mean, anything that you guys like compare wise, because you guys were there, I was not.
Okay.
And I don't want to be biased. This is all about these guys telling
Right.
the truth between the two locations.
no,
So
I
really,
mean,
we've covered a lot.
I think
Schools
so.
are
The quality
fantastic.
of life is
Let's
good.
just
Neighbors
summarize
Schools
it.
are
great.
fantastic.
Yeah, schools are great.
Cost of
Neighbors are
living
great.
for certainly for buying a home or renting is much less.
Yeah.
Groceries, it just kind of
Probably
depends
depends.
on where you shop. I mean, there is a Costco that's not far from here, so we're big
Yeah.
Costco people. But you know, the local grocery store maybe a little bit
Yeah.
more than
That's all
you know.
depending on
But
where you
it's the
go.
same way anywhere,
Yeah.
I think.
People, good.
People are
People
friendly.
are really good.
Crime-
And the
Traffic
nice
is
thing
good.
here.
Crime
Crime's good.
is super low.
Crime is
Like,
not
there
good.
is
Crime
no
is
crime.
very low.
Whether
Yeah.
you can,
That's a joke.
depends on how you look at it.
Not a lot of crime, so hey, you know.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like, don't feel like we hardly have to lock our doors.
No.
But
Yeah, weather depends on what you like. I mean, if you don't like the Four Seasons in the winter, you may not like this area. But in California, I mean, you can't really say it's bad weather. It just
No.
depends on what you
Beautiful all
like.
the time,
So,
but
no. But the seasons here are nice. I mean,
Yeah.
there are definitely 4 seasons. It's really only cold, I would say, mid-January to mid-March.
and we're talking usually 20 to 30s,
And it's
right?
yeah, it's not below
It's not
zero
like
or
zero.
anything like that. No, it's like 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of snowing today, but 2 days from now it's going to be 45.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the
It
40s
won't
again.
take long.
So you know, it comes and it goes.
we're having an ice storm, but I'm excited because it's so unusual and interesting.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, that's what you don't get. That's the niceness of the Four Seasons.
Right,
You get a little
and then
surprise.
in the spring, the daffodils bloom and the tulips bloom,
yeah.
and the trees bud, and everything
Spring
just
is-
comes to life. It's beautiful.
I think Southern Indiana has the prettiest springs.
it's gorgeous.
There's no
it's
other
just
place.
gorgeous.
There's
Yeah.
and the sunsets. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! You know, I travel the world a lot.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I do
Sunsets
not
here are
find
gorgeous.
sunsets prettier than Southern Indiana. I
sky
really do
here
not.
is
I was
huge.
in Greece in the fall, and I'm like, it's a nice sunset, but it's not Southern Indiana.
The sunsets
Well,
here are
we-
gorgeous.
They are gorgeous.
Just gorgeous.
Yeah, we had a view like
We sit out there on the deck and watch the sunset all the time in the afternoon. We go out, have a glass of wine, watch the sunset. It's absolutely gorgeous.
They are just beautiful. They're just
We,
deep
uh,
colors.
we had an ocean view. Like any night we went, we could just watch the
Yeah.
ocean.
In California.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we thought there's no place like here, but that's like California. We were so wrong. I felt so embarrassed like coming here. The sunsets are beautiful here.
They really are.
They're more dramatic than California.
I
Like,
agree with you. I
There's
told someone
the sky's huge.
I get upset. I go everywhere. I've not had one to compare to it. I always will put hands down Southern Indiana.
Yep.
Some
Beautiful
about it.
colors.
So we're going to LA in a couple of weeks to go see some friends.
Okay.
Round trip tickets from Evansville, which is a local airport, through Dallas to LA, like straight stop. I mean, Evansville, Dallas, one straight line, then Dallas to LA straight line. So basically, you get a break to take your mask off from the COVID, right?
Yeah.
$450 round trip. It's not like it's a lot of money, okay?
So if you want to come visit us, I can
That-
show you around because
Well-
$450 it's not much.
I was going to
He's
say,
That's right.
you know, I mean, if I was at all interested in anything you've seen that Kara has, I would totally,
check it out.
I'm sorry, this is a non-paid endorsement, but I'll be honest. I would encourage anyone to come here and just check it out because
Just a tour.
just
Yep,
you know
it's
for
really
$1,000 you sounds a lot. Okay, for $1,000 with a lot of stuff included or extras, you get a chance to see what it'd be like to living in a whole other environment and lifestyle, which is really not easy to do these days.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we initially came here because our daughter went to college here.
Yeah.
And we were like, we don't know anything about Indiana. And then every time we came to visit her, we were like, this is a really nice place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
This
so
is
here's
nice.
the deal. I appreciate you guys.
Well, we appreciate you.
Really, I love them.
We love her.
I appreciate you,
Well, thank you.
sitting down and letting, like, because you are from there. I can speak to, but your reality here.
Yeah.
And if you are from the LA area and you do come here, I'm going to set you up with these guys.
Absolutely.
Promise
We'll
you,
give you the
if-
grand
Take you
tour.
out.
If you go through Kara, we will definitely hook up or talk. Or
Yeah.
I don't use the
You got
wrong
an
words.
instant friend and a tour guide. Who's
Well,
probably
we'll-
take you
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. And
tell
the
you all
good thing
about
is
it.
there's a new group here in where the village, the area that we live here, of all the California transplants. So it's kind of an interesting.
There's a lot coming.
yeah, I know.
more
And
all
there's
the
like a
time.
new thing on.
It's like the
yeah.
vibe.
So
We
like,
got
wow.
California, Illinois is coming too. They might invade California. We'll see which one wins.
Sounds good.
But
Well, thank you.
you're very welcome, and we thank you for letting us share our experiences.
So if you guys are looking to come from California, definitely give me a call. I got your back, don't I, guys?
Absolutely.
I know
Absolutely.
She's the best.
everything.
Very professional.
Very true.
Well, I don't know everything, but
And works
you know,
works her butt off.
I do work
Absolutely.
hard, so
Yes, she
call
does.
me 812-686-3268 until what? You guys know what I do? Till next time. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.